this Sunday.
Heather Locklear, Sinbad, the music of Tony, 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 all tonight on the Very Hot Late Show with David Letterman. But first, your local news.
Coming up next on Eyewitness News, 3 new Leon County School Board members get off to a quick start tonight deciding some controversial issues. Plus, the Leon County Commission says no to a penny sales tax to restore area lakes. And are you all tapped out of ideas for Christmas gifts? Get out your checkbook. We'll take you shopping. That plus Mike's forecast and Randy's sports. The news is next.
Eyewitness News at 11 is closed captioned as a public service of Florida Georgia GMC dealers and WCTV. From the WCTV Eyewitness News team, Julie Montanero, Jim Taylor, Mike McCall with Doppler 6 Weather, and Sports with Randy Ruditz. This is the award-winning Eyewitness News at 11.
Good evening. The Leon County School Board tonight lets an expelled football star explain why he was charged with sexual battery.
Quite a night at the school board. A few hours after swearing in a new superintendent and 3 new school board members, the panel agreed to hear the controversy involving Eddie Williams. Laura Pinzer now tells us how the board reacted to his plea.
17-year-old Eddie Williams has attorneys fighting to get him back into Lincoln High School.
We have newly discovered evidence that we clearly feel that would have altered the outcome of the recommended order if the evidence had been presented to the hearing officer.
Accused of sexual battery, Williams did not testify in his first hearing before a school board panel, and his attorneys say not all the evidence was presented. They believe the school board members should consider reversing his expulsion because the alleged victim accused another football player of similar charges and say she lied about the case. And with 3 new school board members, the vote could have swung in Williams' favor.
Mr. Eddie Williams had a fair hearing. He had an opportunity to present testimony in his own behalf. On advice of counsel, he chose not to. I'm not going to second guess his counsel. That was a call his counsel had to make, and he and his family had to agree with or disagree with.
He entrusted his life to adults. An adult screwed it up.
But when the final vote was taken, 3 members opposed were hearing the case, leaving Williams and his family obviously devastated.
Disappointed that, certain people has got that tunnel vision, like I said before, and, not willing to, they're not looking for the truth. They're not looking for the truth here.
With this setback, the Williams family now considers taking its case to a higher court. Laura Pinzer, Channel 6 Eyewitness News, Tallahassee.
On another subject, school board members decided not to debate on the new elementary school off Highway 27. Its construction was stopped because contractors felt the bidding process was unfair. That issue will be discussed at the school board's December 10th meeting.
Some new faces at the Leon County Courthouse today, too, as newly elected county commissioners were sworn in. A packed gallery watched as 4 commissioners took the oath of office. Bruce Host and Rudy Malloy are back for another 4 years. They are joined by newcomers Bill Proctor and Jane Sauls.
Well, this is a great feeling. It's the culmination of a lot of work, much satisfaction to see many people here to support me, a community that cares. It's a grand moment.
It's wonderful. This has been a great day, and I'm really looking forward to working with the commission.
Also unveiled this afternoon, a plaque honoring all commissioners who have served since 1845. Here's some trivia for you. There have been 137 of them. Well, tonight, commissioners decided against asking voters to extend a penny sales tax. They wanted that money to preserve and restore lakes, but now they're going to have to rely on property taxes to do that. The majority of commissioners felt the referendum would fail because it was going to be tagged onto a city election in February without much time to sell voters on the idea. The Leon County Sheriff's offices will soon be up for sale. Employees will be moving into their new headquarters tomorrow. The old jail on Municipal Way has been completely refurbished and will be the new Sheriff's Department headquarters. Tonight, county commissioners voted to get an appraisal on the Thomasville Road property so they can put it on the market ASAP.
Florida lawmakers have decided who their leaders will be at next year's legislative session.
4 votes for Webster, 56 votes for Ritchie.
Orlando Republican Dan Webster won a close vote to become House Speaker. Webster faced tough challenges from Republican Luis Rojas and Democrat Buzz Ritchie. Webster won by 8 votes. He's the first Republican House Speaker in 122 years. Across the rotunda, much A much smoother passing of the gavel as Toni Jennings of Orlando becomes the second woman to serve as the Florida Senate president. She too is a Republican. This is the first time this century Republicans have led both houses in Florida. Republicans have a 23-17 majority in the Senate and a 64-56 majority in the House.
Fewer violent crimes are being committed in Florida, and authorities are crediting you for that trend. During a luncheon today, Florida Law Enforcement Commissioner Tim Moore says credit must be given to residents who cooperate with police. Even though Florida's violent crime rate has seen its biggest drop in 13 years, residents in Tallahassee are still worried about their safety.
I don't live in fear, no, I don't. But I do take more caution. I'm more cautious about things than I used to be.
Commissioner Moore wants the spirit of cooperation to continue. He says helping police solve crimes will lead to an even bigger drop in violence. Well, a Tallahassee activist has shelved his gun burying program in an effort to make Tallahassee safer. Musa Jugger wanted to disable guns and then bury them in a coffin. But Jugger says federal authorities question the program because some of its volunteers are convicted felons who are not allowed to handle guns.
The inquiry was to move the focus from burying a gun into who had felonies. And that was never the thing. We never even thought of that, or who had felonies. We knew that the persons who was going to receive the guns couldn't have any felony.
TPD officials say ATF officials have called them about that gun burying program.
Hours of talk tonight, but no solutions yet to a squabble over parking at the Young Actors Theater. Tonight, Glenview Drive residents met with folks from the theater as mediation hearings started to settle this dispute. Neighbors complained the theater doesn't have enough parking, and those folks are tired of patrons parking on their lawns. Tonight, there was talk of valet parking or perhaps a deal with a nearby shopping plaza. We'll keep you posted on any progress.
A milestone for a Tallahassee pastor tonight. The Reverend Bernice Clausell celebrated her 80th birthday. Where else but on the front row of Calvary Baptist Church. She'll be retiring on Sunday after serving as pastor there for the past 18 years.
They said that I was a good person and love everybody and try to be fair and do good things for people. You know, try to look out for the people in the community and in other communities as well. And I like that because I think it's true.
Clausell has been a very visible figure in the fight for civil rights in Tallahassee, and she's often found at the governor's right arm. Now, don't ask her what she's going to do after retiring. She said God hasn't told her about that yet.
I guess he hasn't told us about anything like that yet, has he?
What a wonderful description of her, and like she said, it's all true. So, congratulations. And still to come on Eyewitness News at 11, we'll show you what it was like on the doomed ValueJet flight.
Also, 2 planes collide tonight in Illinois, leaving at least 13 people dead. We'll show you how. A revolutionary new process that brings new life to your photo album. Those stories and more when we come back.
This Thanksgiving, your Dodge dealer has prepared some very special things, like a tempting $1,500 cash back or 1.9 financing on Dodge Intrepid ES. Or this irresistible Dodge Caravan with air conditioning and no extra charge. Or help yourself to package value discounts up to $1,457 on Dodge Ram. But hurry, because this Thanksgiving, there might not be any leftovers. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
I got this for you, Pudgy.
And I've got something for you.
When you need a gift in a hurry, come to Target. A collectible limited edition doll is sure to be treasured for years to come, featuring beautiful vases and highly detailed clothing. These dolls by Heidi Ott and Engel are available exclusively at Target for $39.99 each.
Here, hope it fits.
Get a great taste
at a great price
at a great place.
McDonald's!
For a limited time, McDonald's great tasting double cheeseburger is only 99 cents. So come on into McDonald's for this great value today.
Have you had your break today?
Get a great taste
at a great price
at a great place.
McDonald's!
McDonald's great tasting sausage biscuit is only 99 cents. So come on into McDonald's for this great value today.
Have you had your break today?
Two commuter planes crashed on an Illinois runway tonight, killing everyone on board. A United Express airline plane had just touched down at the airport when it slammed into another plane taxiing down the runway. The United Express commuter flight had just arrived from Chicago, headed to Burlington, Iowa. In all, 13 people were killed in that crash. In Miami, safety officials showed just how dangerous those oxygen canisters were on board the doomed ValueJet flight. Here's what happened when authorities tested to see what would happen when one of the canisters self-ignited. Now, within minutes, temperatures reached 3,000 degrees. Authorities believe this is exactly what happened on ValueJet Flight 592. Of course, all 110 people on board that flight were killed.
If you have old photos that are cracked or fading, you can now add new life to them. Law's Camera Shop in Thomasville has purchased a new high-tech computer from Kodak. The new image enhancement system restores old pictures back to their original conditions. Mary Eccles wants to preserve a picture for her family, and that's why she stopped by this Thomasville business today.
It's the only picture that I have of myself when I was a young child during a hurricane. I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi, and all of our families, or most of our family's pictures were destroyed, and this is the only one my mother has of me.
Shop owners think this service will get very popular. Many customers didn't want to send their photos away because they were afraid those photos would get lost in the mail. It's convenient but costly. Refurbishing your photos will cost between $50 and $100. The Marine Corps Reserve Toys for Tots program is getting a vote of confidence from Florida state officials. Today, the cabinet passed a proclamation designating December 1st through the 7th as Toys for Tots Week. Several Marine Corps reservists were on hand to accept the honor.
Florida heartily endorses and joins with the Marine Corps Reserve in the philosophy that every child deserves a little Christmas.
One thing people need to know, that it is a 100% volunteer program. It is not a program of the federal government, although the Marine Corps name is on there. You will find people volunteering their time, their energies to the program.
Last year, Floridians donated more than 500,000 toys through that Toys for Tots program.
And it seems like every year we get a phone call a couple weeks before Christmas saying help, so let's hope we don't get that phone call this year. Just ahead, Mike Storm's in with our forecast and the latest coordinates on what is now Tropical Storm Marco. Plus, the Space Shuttle Columbia heads back into orbit with a bit of history on board today.
But first, let's check out the final numbers on Wall Street today.
With the reliability of a 185 horsepower engine, quadricoil suspension, anti-lock disc brakes, and dual airbags, think of Jeep Grand Cherokee as the calm during the storm. Now lease a 97 Grand Cherokee for $0 down, $339 a month, and first month's payment due at signing.
Check out this $339 lease at your dealer today.
Hi, Edna here, the new president of Quincy's Family Steakhouse, on the road visiting our No Mistake Steak Cookouts to celebrate the new, improved Quincy's.
Good food, good waitresses.
They're always friendly.
Things are a little different around here.
The service is really good. Great steaks!
Now, what if I said that you can order our New York strip steak for only $5.99 and get all the yeast rolls you want?
I think that's a great price.
Quincy! Where are we headed next?
Quincy!
Why do so many people drive to Food Lion? Well, how about 1,100 convenient locations and extra low prices on all of your favorite NASCAR sponsors brands? So hurry to Food Lion and shop in the fast lane.
At Food Lion, you'll find almost everything under the sun. Brand name products, great prices, and easy in and out convenience. And now with most Food Lion stores open 24 hours, you'll find everything under the moon as well.
Food Lion, extra low prices and more.
The way we care for HMO patients is it's a team approach. The family practice doctor, the specialist, and the patient all work together. Last week in my office, I saw a 36-year-old woman who was at high risk for blindness. We did some laser treatment, and there's a great likelihood that we caught this problem at an early enough phase that we prevented her from going blind.
HMOs, we know they work because it's Blue Cross Blue Shield of Florida's HMO health options. Successful healthcare stories every day.
Mike McCall's Doppler 6 weathercasts have the seal of approval of the American Meteorological Society.
Well, here's a classic case of fire and ice. Downed power lines sparking and burning snow-covered tree branches. The snow's weight has broken tree limbs and snapped power lines. More than 80,000 homes are without power, and this is in Seattle, Washington.
And you can hear the electricity burning through those lines under those trees, and what a sight.
Yeah, the folks in Seattle, it's, you know, a lot like, say, if it were to snow in Atlanta like that. You know, it happens about once a year, they get some kind of snow, but they're not used to anything like that. And, you know, and they're still nice and green out there. It's still just early fall, so certainly they're not used to anything like that. Big problem here tonight, we were talking about, the fog. It's dangerous. It's what it really is. So if you're going to be out, certainly I won't be out driving tonight, but early in the morning hours, give yourself plenty of extra time, because that's only going to make traffic problems worse and certainly going to slow everybody down, because fog right now, visibility at a quarter mile or less in just about all the reporting stations around the region. More on that coming up. First, let's check out some temperatures. 63 degrees, certainly mild out there, but there's a couple of good hints there. You've got the fog in the area. The dew point is the same as the temperature. That means the air is saturated, can't hold any more water. Humidity is 100%, and the winds are calm, so there's nothing to even push it around. So certainly it's probably only going to get worse before it gets better. Say probably burning off by around 8 or 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, let's talk about some temperatures. Today, now Tallahassee bottomed out at 51, but look at everybody else, with the exception of Thomasville. They're also fairly chilly at 53. Valdosta at 54, but the further north and west you go, had a few more clouds around and some fog this morning, really held the temperatures up. 63s for Dothan and also at Panama City. In the daytime highs, we had those clouds around, had some very welcome showers. Some areas picked up as much as a quarter of an inch, everybody else a couple of hundredths, but the clouds did keep the temperatures down just about where they should be, actually. 72 for Tallahassee, 70 for Thomasville, and also for Valdosta. Tomorrow's numbers, I look for a little more sunshine once the fog burns off. It may take a while since it's going to be so thick during the morning hours, and there is still a very small chance for a shower, but just that, very small. There are the current numbers, the coolest up to the north, Albany and Dothan right now at 57. All right, switching gears, talking about the tropics. Here's extreme southern Florida and the Keys, the island of Cuba. Here is Jamaica, and this is Tropical Storm Marco. Now, depending on whether you want to look at satellite or look at the actual coordinates, depends on which direction this thing's actually moving. The coordinates seem to want to actually take it more towards the southeast, according to the Hurricane Center, but certainly by satellite and by the exact direction that they're giving it, it is moving towards the east. Doesn't really mean much because it's not going to affect us. However, it's still expected to turn more towards the northeast tomorrow, which may bring some tropical storm conditions to the island of Jamaica. Right now at 13.8, 79.5, moving east officially at 5 miles per hour. Top winds are up now, not too far from hurricane strength at 65 miles per hour. All right, around the rest of the country, a brutally cold day back across the northwestern portions of Montana. And it's that Arctic air that mixed in with this big storm coming out of the Pacific. Look at Seattle, only 30 degrees. They had as much as 7 to 8 inches of snow there, as much as 16 inches of snow over some of the inland sections. You can see all the moisture continues to pour in. That storm is gradually weakening, and then we've got nothing really to look at. The next front will be a relatively dry one, just a few showers around, but drying out in time for the weekend. More on that right after this.
Which industry directly impacts 9,600 Tallahassians? Has an annual economic impact of more than $241 million and brings 75,000 visitors to Tallahassee. Who provides Tallahassee with so much? Tallahassee's 221 associations do. Associations contribute to Tallahassee's economy, and we also enhance Tallahassee's way of life. Associations advance Tallahassee. This message brought to you by the Tallahassee Society of Association Executives.
Tonight's national map, and this frontal system really kind of mirrors where the jet stream is, and every once in a while little ripples of energy move along that. We have one of those that came by today that brings some of the showers. Probably a slightly stronger one coming in by late Thursday into early Friday. I think that's what's going to finally bring some cooler and drier air into the region, but probably not before then. Tonight's lows certainly very cold up towards the north, teens and 20s. It's already below zero in portions of Montana. And then tomorrow's weather map, front doesn't move, so we still have these little ripples moving along the front. Perhaps 1 or 2 showers, but a little more sunshine once the fog burns off. We'll see temperatures rebounding back into the mid to upper 70s. Now, Doppler 6 radar, we're going to have some patchy drizzle out there with the very thick fog, but other than that, don't expect to see any rain overnight. If you're heading out on the water tomorrow, you can look for southwesterly winds, 5 to 10 knots, with Gulf seas running 1 to 2 feet. So for tonight, areas of very dense fog, also some patches of drizzle, which will make the roads wet, too. So not only is it going to be reduced visibility, but the roads may be wet from the drizzle. And then tomorrow, once the fog burns off, a high up around 78, Can't rule out the possibility for 1 or 2 showers, but the rain chance will be pretty small, gradually creeping back up by early Friday and then clearing out just in time for the weekend and cooling down. Looks like a really nice, dry, and crisp weekend coming up for us.
And how thick was that fog?
As pea soup, because we can't think of anything else to compare it to.
If you can think of something better, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
It's pretty thick out there. Moving along, a leaky engine almost stopped the Space Shuttle Columbia from blasting off today. NASA engineers delayed the mission a few minutes to check that leak, but it turned out to be a minor one. Columbia then blasted off for a 16-day mission.
Remain engines up.
A few hours ago, astronauts opened the shuttle's cargo doors so they could release 2 satellites. This mission will set a few records, including carrying the oldest crew member into space. 61-year-old Story Musgrave set the record for the oldest American in space with this blastoff. He also set the record for flying on the most shuttle missions.
Wow.
How about that? Five or six trips into space.
He owns all the records, huh?
That's all right. Coming up next in sports, FAMU gets set for a trip to Tampa for the annual battle with the Wildcats.
And Warwick Dunn continues his assault on the record books. Randy is in next with sports.
I want to get us a little dinner. How's Mexican sound?
Great.
For the price of an ordinary sedan, Kia now offers Sportage. With 4x4 prowess that's been proven by winning its class in the Baja 1000, it turns the most mundane task into an adventure. Sportage from Kia. Finally, the adventure of a 4x4 for the price of an ordinary sedan.
What?
Presenting Sportage from Kia.
I think a Walmart MasterCard sounds fantastic.
Walmart has a credit card? Absolutely. We've done the Walmart card the Walmart way.
It's just a credit card with low interest. It's simple.
A fixed low interest rate is perfect.
It's a Walmart card, but you can use it wherever they take MasterCard.
You can't always pay it off at the end of the month, so of course, low interest rate helps enormously.
We've always tried to save people money, and this is just one more way to do it.
Call 1-800-858-3100 for your no annual fee Walmart MasterCard from Chase.
I'm so surprised that we didn't offer this card years ago. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
Here at the Florida Lotto Jackpot Warehouse, we're shipping out millions every week. It keeps us pretty busy. We're stocked to the rafters with 10s, 20s, 50s, and we just got some fresh $100 bills. We'd love to bring you a jackpot. All you have to do is play Florida Lotto and win. No obligation, no salesman will call. But if you want to win now, you've got to play now. And if you win, we'll deliver your jackpot in easy payments. I guarantee it. Don't delay. Play today.
Because life is full of challenges, we make it easier and more enjoyable. Jimmy by GMC. New for $97, a CD player with speed-sensitive volume. New power sunroof, and the convenience of a new rear liftgate. So you can get the most in and out of life. Jimmy by GMC. Making it easier to conquer the world you drive in.
See your Florida, Georgia GMC dealer today.
Not a lot of talk being generated about this game coming up this weekend.
You know what? It's not exciting to play the Terrapins?
And no. Not even the hype meister can do anything with this game. Can't say much about Saturday's game in Miami. It's not likely to be close, but it could be important for Warwick Dunn in the offensive line. Warwick already has topped Greg Allen's touchdown record. Now he's closing in on both the career rushing record and another 1,000-yard season. Both are goals for Warwick, who is looking out to close out a brilliant career with another title.
Now, it doesn't mean anything. Probably in the future, could have a little bit more meaning and we'll probably feel special then, but records are going to be broken, and I guess when I'm gone, someone else is going to come and break these records.
The search for a new football coach at Kentucky has landed in Valdosta, Georgia. VSU coach Hal Mumme is reportedly on the list of 4 finalists. Mumme and the Blazers, though, have some work to do this week. They're hosting Albany State. Playoffs on Saturday, but the Kentucky job is one Mumme certainly couldn't turn down. Kentucky says it will name a new coach by December 2nd. Right now, Mumme doesn't want to talk about the Kentucky job.
The University of Kentucky is a great program, and you know, the SEC is probably the greatest football there is in in college football today. At that Division 1A level, and it's kind of on that level, the same level as the Gulf South Conference.
This is the weekend for the FAMU football program. There's an old saying at FAMU. It goes like this. You can lose the rest of the games, but just don't lose to Bethune-Cookman. The Rattlers and the Wildcats are doing their annual thing in Tampa. Dennis Schnitger tells us FAMU is motivated.
The Rattlers return to practice today to begin preparations for Bethune-Cookman. Billed as the Florida Classic, this 50th meeting between the two rivals is just 4 days away. But off the field, the talking has already begun.
They're always talking a lot of trash to us, and it's just a very emotional game. Bethune-Cookman's going to be up. We're going to be up. And we're going to clash on Saturday. It's going to be big. It's big.
Being a Rattler, the BCC game is the highlight of your season. If you don't win any other game this season, you better win this game.
FAM's third-year coach Billy Joe is 1-1 against the Wildcats after BCC welcomed the newest Rattler to the rivalry with a shocking 27-24 defeat in 1994.
I now realize how important this opponent is because our fans and our boosters and our alumni have all let me know just how important this game is.
FAMU's dominated this series, but over the past 4 years, the contest has seesawed, the victory going to FAMU in 93 and 95, to BCC in 92 and 94. Dennis Schnitker, Channel 6 Eyewitness Sports.
To the majors, Albert Bell is now the highest paid player in baseball history. Bell signed on with the Chicago White Sox today. Financial terms not disclosed, but it's believed that it's in the 5-year, $50 million range. In Boston, the White Sox have the 41st manager in club history. He is 53-year-old Jimmy Williams. To college basketball, to the action, FAMU in their first and last preseason game. Second half, Leon High's Aquinta Clark scores in heavy traffic, driving lay-in. Clark led FAMU with 15 points. Later, Demia Glenn to Tamika Peterson count the basket in the foul. The visitors, though, won it 67-52. FAMU opens the season Saturday at Mercer. To the NBA, Knicks psyched up, hosting Orlando, who is riding a 4-game win streak. But all New York for most of this game. Johnson, Childs working some magic. The Knicks built a 25-point third-quarter lead. Also having a big game, Charlie Ward inside to Ewing. That was Ewing's 20,000th career point. He is the 23rd player in NBA history to reach that magic number. Charlie again letting it fly. Charlie, by the way, had 14 tonight. Ewing the catch and the flush. Orlando mounted a comeback, but New York wins it 92-88. The Lou Holtz era at Notre Dame is almost over. Today, Holtz announced his resignation to take effect at the end of the current season. Folks, not only are we losing a good football coach, Lou is one of the best interviews.
I mean, you look at our schedule. I don't even want to look at our schedule. Bishop, why don't you look ahead? Because I don't like what I see when I look ahead.
There isn't anything wrong with winning ugly. Matter of fact, there isn't anything wrong with being ugly, as long as you're successful. You want to start singing, the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. You know, you start singing that song to yourself, wipers on the bus go swish, 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 all through the town. You know, the people on the bus go up and down, you know, just.
Everybody now, up and down. College basketball tonight, TCC's men and women both come out on the winning end. The men dump Santa Fe to go to 6-0. The women over Savannah Tech, they're 5-0. To the forecast, our graph peaks both in the morning and the evening. Believe me, it really does. And at the track, the 1-7 pups came in and paid very well, 199.40.
Where'd you find those clips?
The best of Lou Holtz.
Really?
Like you got the best of Carson, you got the best of Lou.
Hey, thanks,
Lou's
Randy.
Christmas album. Thank you, Randy. Still to come, we'll have some of the most extraordinary Christmas presents you've ever seen.
And we'll show you why your credit report might not be as clean as you thought it would be.
One of the most significant innovations in recent automotive engineering wasn't made by an engineer. Right now, you can lease a Honda Accord LX for $239 a month for 24 months and a $500 down payment. The 97 Accord.
Not one, but 2 quarter-pound beef patties. 3 slices of melted cheese. 8 strips of crispy bacon. They say the world is getting smaller, but what's really happened is that the burger has gotten bigger. Introducing the Monster Burger, only from Hardee's. What will they think of next? Breakfast is in the Monster Omelet Biscuit with plenty of ham, bacon, and cheeses.
Governor Square, the one place that always fits your life.
with more of the stores you want. You're sure to find just what you're looking for you, your home, and family. And Governor Square has a collection of stores you won't find anywhere else. Whatever you need, you'll find it at Governor Square. Don't miss our holiday open house this Sunday from 5:30 till 9 p.m. with treats, music, and special discounts at Governor Square.
The Value Drive is on during Oldsmobile's Value Drive sales event. For a limited time, Oldsmobile is clearing out all remaining 96s, and with special factory-to-retailer incentives on new 97 models, you have an even greater opportunity to save. 88 by Oldsmobile, J.D. Power & Associates Best Premium Midsize Car in initial quality. Or Cutlass Supreme, all the roominess, performance, and features you need, plus Value Drive savings. See your Southern Oldsmobile retailer today.
Have mistakes on your credit report kept you from buying a car or computer? Well, help's on the way to clear up all those mistakes.
That's right. It's actually a new law that gives consumers more clout in making sure the credit bureaus respond to their complaints. More now from Kiplinger's Personal Finance Report.
Here at TransUnion, the nation's third largest credit bureau, they get 6,000 letters a day. People wanting copies of their credit reports. A good idea? You bet.
Maybe the middle initial got a T to a P or something.
Even a minor mistake can mean big trouble. Getting turned down for credit is just one problem. Remember, your credit report is used as a guide by a lot of people other than lenders.
By a landlord thinking of taking you on as an apartment tenant, by an employer looking at your job application.
With a document this important, says Kiplinger's editor-in-chief, you need to keep an eye on it. And if you find a problem, you need to fix it quick.
But this has been very, very difficult to do. Credit bureaus sometimes drag their feet. Sometimes an error that you thought you had cleaned out crops up a year later.
Under current law, you can and should dispute any error, but if the creditor simply says the info is accurate, the data stays where it is.
Under the new law, credit bureaus must certify that a disputed fact is accurate, and if that error continues to be in your report, you can sue them for damages.
The upshot, according to Congress? Creditors will be more careful now about what they put in your credit report. But the key is knowing what's on your report. And for that, you need to start here.
I'm Dave Brewster for Channel 6 Eyewitness News.
The new law called the Consumer Credit Reporting Reform Act, it takes effect next October.
Okay, coming up next, we'll check the Wake Up Morning forecast and we'll show you some great Christmas gift ideas.
That in just a moment. First, let's check out tonight's winning lottery numbers.
With the reliability of a 185 horsepower engine, quadricoil suspension, anti-lock disc brakes, and dual airbags, think of Jeep Grand Cherokee as the calm during the storm. Now lease a 97 Grand Cherokee for $0 down, $339 a month, and first month's payment due at signing.
Check out this $339 lease at your dealer today.
It's the hottest show in town, the biggest party you'll ever see. An eye-poppin', hand-jiving, finger-snapping celebration. It's Grease.
We go together like remember forever.
One of Broadway's longest-running hits. Grease is the word, and it's hot.
Grease is coming to the Tallahassee-Leon County Civic Center for 2 shows, December 4th and 5th.
Grease, be there or be square.
Call today for tickets.
Champion Chevrolet. There will never be a better time to buy a brand new truck than right now at Champion Chevrolet. The new 97 models are here with more arriving daily. We have over 197 S10s starting at just $10,998, plus Blazers, the all-new Venture minivan, and full-size extended cab trucks starting at just $17,998. And this huge selection will make buying your next new truck a snap. The new 97 Chevrolets at Champion.
Champion Chevrolet gives you the winning edge.
Mike is back now. I'll tell you, driving around out there tonight, you could barely see the street signs. It's very foggy.
Gotta go slow.
Yeah, it's, this is the kind of thing where if you don't watch it, there could be some serious accidents out there. Just
just pay a little bit more attention, I guess. And that goes for us, because we got to get on the roads here in about 2 minutes or so. Foggy, foggy, foggy in the morning. Remember to send in your ideas of just how thick the fog actually is.
Send them on in.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
There are only 35 shopping days left until Christmas, so here are some unique gift ideas from the Neiman Marcus Company, or Neiman Marcus, I should say. Why not a special TIE fighter right out of the Star Wars trilogy? You can be the first person on your block to own one of those hot rods. You also don't want to forget about your pets. Why not get Rover a luxury pet bed? And Fido don't want to be left out on the cold with that little pet castle right there. And if you have some fish, what about a fishy condo? And of course, what's a holiday without a trip? A big Airstream traveler, get the old RV on the road and go to town.
Just make out your list. We're out of time.
CBS, welcome home.